Hey, this is Kevin from News Rocky, bringing it to you again, getting in the ring each and every day, Monday through Friday, in the downtown Norwich Forward TV studio. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of my favorite, I'm going to call them lightweights. The Lightweight of the Day award is going to go from News Rocky to two of the most talked about fellas going on right now. One's an entrepreneur, Mark Cuban, owner of the Mavericks. We'll talk about his new position, National Anthem for Mark Cuban. This is a really chump move, Mark. We'll get down into that in the ring in a moment. Also talking about Joe Biden and his one of the most current executive orders, now allowing young men who want to identify as young women to compete in sports against females. I'll tell you right now, if I was a young woman out there, I would be so offended by this policy under this administration. Sniffy Joe, you're wrong on this one. Make sure you get back in the ring. We're going to dive into these two topics today on News Rocky, bringing it to you. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Kevin with News Rocky, and as I said in the opener, we're going to dive into two topics today. We're going to get in the ring with two of the, I'm going to call them the lightweights of the year here. As far as I'm concerned, these two guys have made terrible decisions. One's an entrepreneur, and one's a politician. Sort of an entrepreneurial politician, wouldn't you say? Joe Biden's been there for over 40 plus years, doing his thing down there. Now this newly sat president has made some real noise as far as dealing with the transgender population in this country. Let me be open and frank with you. I don't care if you pee standing up in a dress and pee sitting down in pants. I don't care what you do behind closed doors, and I recommend that everyone be who they want to be. But when it comes down to policymakers, such as the President of the United States, under his executive power ability, to sign this new suggested bill that states adopt policies that allow young men who identify as transgender to have the ability to compete in sports against women is totally wrong. Let's just take it from the beginning here to the end. I am all for anyone who wants to put a dress on. I don't care if your name's Tom and you don't shave and you got a beard and you want to be identified as a woman. Tom, you can be my friend and I'll support you. But what I don't want to do for Tom with the beard who wants to compete against women is give you an award for science. If we want to believe in science, President Biden, I almost called you Obama there because it's like the same, right? Obama, Biden, same president. Biden, if you want to call science out when it comes to COVID, call science out when it comes to humans. Am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong to think that this president is basically just signing executive order after executive order just to satisfy promises he's made on the campaign trail? Guys, this bill, this new suggestion, executive order that he has signed is jeopardizing young athletes across this country, young women from all different types of sports. Let's talk about it. How many of you young women out there, or moms and dads, that have children who have participated in sports? Let's say, for example, you have a gymnast. Let's say, for example, how much time and energy does it take from that beginning stage to become a gymnast who could actually go out to the Olympics and represent this great country? How much of an investment, not just monetary, but that physical, emotional, family investment? And what this president is now saying to you young women, you don't matter. See, this to me is the biggest sexist move that any president could do. Well, Kevin, how can that be? He's allowing everyone to participate. Do you want a man to beat your daughter in a competition? Do you want to put a physically stronger, scientifically factual male body with lipstick on and a dress and let that person go against your daughter to compete? Not just against that race, but what about the scholarship that your daughter's been striving for since she started in that sport? Possibly softball, possibly you can pick it, track, field and track. Actually, here in the state of Connecticut, we had a lawsuit that was filed by a couple young women in high school that were forced to compete in the state of Connecticut under bad policymakers, under Governor Malloy, the former governor. He allowed that to take place here. And school districts across this country are making the same move. They're saying, let's bow to knee here on this politically correct situation. Guys, this is not about acknowledging all people should be respected. This is about acknowledging that we are different. We are born physically different, and we can identify with whoever we want. You can be a Martian if you want. You can be a female in a male body. I don't care. I support you. I don't care what it is at the end of the day you want to be, but what you can't be is you can't take something from someone who fights hard for it, like a young woman. We have already denied our women in this country. Look at the history of America. Women are more oppressed than any other race or creed in this country still today. Women are the most oppressed, and yet this president thinks it's smart to sign this executive order to allow young men who identify as women to go jump in the ring and compete. That's unfair. It's unfair. It's not defendable. And Sniffy Joe, you made a major mistake on this one. This is a major lightweight mistake, and I'll tell you, this is going to cost you, because many women who are very into getting their rights, fighting for the rights of women. Women have more at stake here during this administration than you even know. And what's that mean, Kevin? Why do you mean that? You think that this current administration has the rights of women in their forefront? Do you think that this president is really concerned? Listen, we can talk about Joe Biden's history, sniffing every female he comes across. Most currently, there's even some more news. He's out there talking to a young reporter, calling her a high school student. You look at Kamala Harris, his vice president, eventually the president, sitting there almost scared and shocked that creepy old Joe is starting to talk about this young reporter like she's some kind of sexy, cute kitten. Guys, this is madness. Now, Uncle Joe goes ahead and signs this executive order allowing young males, suggesting the states to adopt these policies. But guys, just think about it. In Connecticut, we've already seen this. And we saw a male athlete who identified, and by the way, most of these cases, we can read document after document about these situations taking place across the country. These liberal communities say, we have to allow the people to identify they want to weigh whatever. We're all for that. Listen, I'm a Republican conservative, and I also adjust to the peace, and I've been waiting to marry a same-sex couple. So if you are a same-sex couple, come to me. I love you. I don't hate anybody. But what I do hate is the pandering of politicians like Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe, major mistake right here. You're taking women's rights away. You're denying women who are going to fight for a scholarship so they can go on and get an education. You're denying this not just of white women, black women, Hispanic women. All women in this country are under siege under this policy. You see, because each one of these girls there's no incentive. Why fight hard? Why go and try to become a gymnast? Why go and become something on the track and field? Why be a softball player and fight for that and strive for that opportunity when you know that now males can compete? Guys, this is actual sick-minded individuals. And anyone that wants to argue with me, bring it on, because I'll love to get in the ring with you. You are totally off your rocker if you think this makes sense. Why would you want to take the women's rights away? This is nothing. So let's break it down, right? So he signs this executive order. This executive order is one of the 40 plus 50. I don't know what the number is he's up to now. He's on a pace to break records that will never be matched again, because most people with common sense in politics don't go into politics this way. But you see, here's the problem. I think Sleepy Joe knows his time is short. I think Sleepy Joe knows that his time on earth is short, as well as his time serving as the president. So he's going to get it all done, all those promises along the campaign trail. He might even be having some flashbacks to 10, 20 years ago. I don't know mentally what he's thinking, but why would you do this, President Biden? Why? Why would you tell the young women of this country that you don't respect them? Why would you tell them that you don't appreciate them, the women who deserve to be respected more than anyone else? Guys, I've said this before on News Rocky. I want you to hear me. I've said this before. There's two populations of people in America they are the highest depressed, not depressed, but disrespected parts of our society. You know who they are? Women. Women aren't appreciated. Women are always denied. They've been fighting the glass ceiling forever. Women are fighting still today. And Joe Biden, under this policy, you just basically shed some light on this very important issue. You are totally wrong. And the other population, guys, just for the conversation, are Indians, are Native Americans across this country have been screwed over time after time. And this government, including Joe Biden, you'll continue to do it because it's all about control for Americans, the white America that we live in. You know what? Here I am. I'm a white guy, and I believe in conservative views. I believe in everything that I talk about each and every day. I also believe in one thing. I don't bullshit. I don't say or pander to you just because I want you to listen to News Rocky. I talk because I hope we can have a conversation, even in a disagreement. So I want you guys to scroll up here now. Tell me what you're thinking. You think I'm wrong because I think Joe Biden is a pushover for this law? This is just about political satisfaction to one group of this society. And by the way, it is a minority group. You're not a part of any majority out there. And if you think forcing this president to have to make this move is a victory, I want to make you well aware you're wrong. You're going to lose the favor of people who want to support all people by this policy. When we have young women across this country who are now going to be denied an opportunity for education, for acknowledgement of achievement in their sports that they choose to participate in, because this policy gives the ability for a substandard male athlete to say, you know what, I'm just going to put some curlers in my hair and lipstick on my cheeks and face or whatever you girls do with makeup and put on some pink outfits, and I'm a girl. And I want to compete against her, and I'm going to win because you're a substandard athlete. You know what? Any male out there who wants to be gendered non-specific, I don't care what you are. That's fine. I'll take you on a date. Give me a call. I don't care. I want to love and help you. But if you think you're going to get away with beating young women because you're physically more advanced, scientifically proven, just like COVID, Joe, just like you say about COVID. That's right. You can't say it for that if you don't say it about this. So guys, I ask you this. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Seriously, do you think young men in high school should have the chance to compete against young women because they identify as a woman? I don't think so. And I know down deep either do you. You liberals, you Democrats, you're going to find a way to argue with me. And you know what? That's fine. That's your choice. Uncle Joe, President Biden, you are 100% wrong on this topic. You made a major mistake. You know what? Actually, I find it quite interesting that the national corporate fake media, you're not even all over this. The only way you actually title this, the USA Today article or any of the articles that are out there, the way you title this corporate media is, oh, right-wing conservatives are angry with this new policy under Joe Biden. It's not just right-wing conservatives. It's women. Women should be upset with this. I'm on the side of every female in America. Black, white, Hispanic, I don't care, Asian, whoever you are, I'm fighting for you. Because you know what? This is wrong. It is 100% wrong. And we're going to continue to talk about this. This is a topic, by the way, guys, this is just the beginning. This administration is not only going to take on these tough topics that are just actually crazy to even consider. They're going to do even further. See, they're going to use this one as the door entry. Uncle Joe's going to come in and just say, sign off on the executive order. We're going to let young boys who identify as women now compete against girls who are competing for sports because they are physically the young boys who want to be women are physically not as able in their competition sports against other boys. So now we're going to give them the avenue. You can still win, Tommy. You just put a dress on and go over there and take on that young little Mary, and you can win that award. Because you know what? That's the world we live in America now, right? Guys, it's I'm getting hot in here. I got this fancy coat on. I should have took it off today because I'm pissed. I'm actually pissed off. This is something, as a father of a daughter who I want to be president of the United States. I want to be anything she wants to be. She could even be a guy if she wants to, guys. I don't care. I'm going to love her. But I'm never, ever, ever going to bow on a knee to satisfy a minority party of people who think this is a vision of our country. You are wrong. Joe Biden, you're wrong. The people who push this agenda to Joe Biden and his administration, you're wrong. Anyone who endorses this is wrong. There is no way Now, fact checking is going to tell you this is not a federal law. This is not being acted on, and there could be some language in this that we'll have to monitor in News Rocky, and right here we will continue to monitor it and keep bringing this topic up. There will be some possible denial of funding if you don't adopt policies from the feds for local establishments and schools throughout this country. We'll have to monitor it. But if this is the entry into this topic, I want to warn you that we are in for some real dangerous roads, guys. And think about it. Again, I want the women to understand. I'm fighting for you because you're being denied what is really your rights. This is just another example of sexism against women, of chauvinistic white males to get into governmental positions to just say they're going to do what they want to do. Guys, I hope you call out this president on it. I hope you share with us exactly your thoughts on it. This is the News Rocky Show, and we cover a lot of different topics, and today is a rant. It's not going to be a long rant day today, guys. I want to warn you, the show is going to be a little shorter today. We're going to just rant on a couple topics, but I really want to know what you think. Please scroll up here, post some questions, post some comments. Do you really agree with this position that Joe Biden and his administration has taken, signing in an executive order that allows males identifying those gender non-specific males who want to identify as female the ability to compete in sports against females? Scientifically proven female on their birth certificate now are going to be forced under this suggestion, because let's face it, there's parts of our country that will never adopt this. They'll just, they don't have nothing to do with it. And there's predominantly our Republican communities, conservative communities. And then there's actually some Democratic communities that also won't adopt it because they also have common sense. And then there's the cuckoo crew. And the cuckoo crew comes into all the cities and the states across our country that have this policymakers that seem to be on this actually, I don't know if they're on LSD. I don't know what train they're on, if they're popping some kind of pills. The cuckoo crew wants to change the world we live in. They want to make sure that you know we're all gender non-specific now. You know, I don't care about that. This is not the topic. And if you want to confuse this, you liberal pushing, angry little people with pink hats on, go ahead and bring it to me. I don't care. Because the bottom line is I support everybody across the board. What I don't support is the beating up of females. And I find this to be repulsive. To tell a young woman that she cannot compete because she can't. Physically, science says it. We believe in science for COVID, Joe. You got to believe in science for this. You're going to say to that young boy who's not even qualified to compete at any level of sports because, you know, maybe they're just frail or they're just whatever they are. I don't know what they are. But now all of a sudden you give them an opportunity so they can win an award against women, young girls, and take away their scholarship opportunities. Guys, this is absolutely crazy. I don't know what you think of it. I personally think that this is the cuckoo world that we live in today. Seems to be just getting off the rails, and the train is really going fast and furious. So let's keep monitoring this. The News Rocky Show. I got my rant out of the way on Uncle Joe Biden. The creepy Joe, sniffy Joe. You know, maybe this is about Joe. Just he's so sniffy. He just wants to sniff more girls out there. So he wants more boys to become girls so he can sniff them too, because that's what he's into. He wants to sniff them all. Sniff all the girls. Even if you're a transgender, Joe's coming for you. He's going to sniff you next. Watch what happens. All right, listen, that's enough of that. I know I'm going to get a lot of crazy emails, but whatever, bring it. I don't care. I say what I have to say, and I respect what you have to say, and that's all we can do. And if you don't like it, keep us tuned in anyways, because you know I'm going to say something crazy and you want to hear it. So guys, listen, have you been paying attention to what's going on? Okay, we come off this incredibly crazy year. I don't know if you guys all were awake for this, but 2020 was crazy, right? Not only did we have COVID and the debate whether or not you can call it the China virus or not. I know I get really a lot of messages for that. You're a racist, you're this. Why? It came from China, guys. Knock the shit off. If you want to pretend like it didn't, then you're the crazy people, not me. So you just figure that one out. What else did we have? We had George Floyd. Tragedy. Tragedy that exposed racism in this country. And you know, if you watch News Rocky each and every day, we are taking that conversation on. We welcome the conversation with those stakeholders out there throughout Connecticut and the country who are involved in the fight for racial reform. And we want to support that because there is a problem there. We also have taken on this national sort of push that we don't want to be America. We want to re-identify ourselves as a new America. Maybe, if you watched the Super Bowl last week and you were able to see that Super Bowl, you were able to see that there was a couple, national anthems played. There was a different beginning to that Super Bowl than normal. And you know what? I'm fine with it, folks. I don't care how you can play every song. You can play the jig. You can play the polka-bration. I don't care what you play. I really don't. But don't fuck with my national anthem. Don't fuck with my national anthem. America's too important to us. And the foundation of what we have right here in this great country is based on a couple of things. We had men and women who came here from oppressed countries, and they became this country. There's history here proven where we know that the flag that we fly, it bleeds blood. By many of our own citizens today that we see in battles across this world on different fronts, where we have men and women who go out and fight for freedom, even though it's sometimes not even the freedom of America, it's to protect the freedom of America. And us as Americans have continually supported and understood. That is why that flag is so important. And you see, when you have people like Mark Cuban, who is an exceptional entrepreneur. And by the way, up until this morning today, I have been a huge Mark Cuban fan. I liked his arrogance. I like the fact he's an entrepreneur. He started something from nothing. He's a brilliant mind, a very successful guy. He's rich as shit. He's got his show on the Shark Tank. I love his attitude on the Shark Tank because, matter of fact, I will tell you, Mark Cuban, you are the chump of the day, the total chump of the day. Because Mark Cuban, what you're doing is you're playing to a racial divide that you want to capitalize off of. You piece of shit. You're a piece of shit for calling out and saying, I don't no longer want to play the national anthem at the Mavericks. You know what? This is in Texas, guys. He owns a basketball team. I know a lot of the listeners probably don't watch basketball. I don't blame you. It's not a sport that I'm into either. But you know what? The Mavericks, very famous sporting facility down there in Texas. This is Mark Cuban's baby. He's been well known for getting out on the court and scrapping it up, and he's been a passionate owner, almost / coach of the Mavericks. His most recent move was to shift away from the national anthem being played at any of his games at his home stadium in Texas. Guys, this is happening right now. Here's one of the leading voices across this country as an entrepreneur. This guy has got respect from everywhere. He's always all over the national corporate fake media talking about all his projects he's doing. He's the stand-up guy, and he's a rough, tumble guy, and he wants to tell everyone what to do. Well, Mark, you know what I want to tell you? You're an idiot. You're stupid. And the very fact that you have celebrated so much in this great country because you've worked hard for it, and I give you credit. But the fact now where you sit today and you could actually be a problem solver, you're creating a problem. You're creating a divide that is already there that we always fight each and every day. Instead of being a problem solver, you're creating more problems for us, Mark. It doesn't make sense. Why is the national anthem offensive to you? Why is the national anthem something you don't want to hear or have in your venue in Texas? Mark, why is it that you are so offended by the national anthem? Please explain it to us. Not only do we want to know why, Mark, you think this is a smart move, why do you think this country is so divided, Mark? Because of people like you. It's not the African Americans, Black Americans, or Asian Americans, or the minority people of this country. You're not a minority, Mark. You're a white boy. A white boy with a lot of money, trying to feel good about something. I think it's more about creating news. I think, Mark, the very fact that I'm talking about it on News Rocky, which is a skyrocketing show going across this country and world, and you know it, the fact that I'm talking about it right here on probably the best media outlet that you can find, because it's honest news, it's not fake news like all your corporate friends are. No, you know what, Mark? You're happy that we're talking about you. You think it's going to draw revenue. You know what, Mark? I'm going to have a campaign with News Rocky. We're going to try to take you down. We're going to suggest that nobody pays for no tickets to go to your stupid basketball games anymore until you reinstate the national anthem. We should boycott you, Mark Cuban, until you reinstate the national anthem. That means nobody watch Shark Tank. Nobody should be spending a dime in anything that you're involved in. And it's sad, Mark, because you have thousands of employees that work with you, thousands of people that rely on you each and every day of your move. Wait. Is this cancel culture? Am I talking about cancel culture? A conservative wants a cancel culture? Fuck yeah! You know why? Because we're sick of it. This is exactly the reverse of what you complain about. And guys, got to wake up to it, man. It is dangerous waters to be playing. No, Kevin, why are you caring about the national anthem? Who gives a shit? Let's burn flags. You know what? I actually do want to fight for something. I will fight for the right for you to burn a flag if you want to. I'd also fight you if you did it, at least in front of me. Because you know what? I love my country. What's wrong with loving America, even in its most imperfect situation we're in? How many of us have kids that we don't love? Well, Jake and Taylor, I love you both. I'm kidding on that. We love your kids. But you know what I mean. How many of us have parents or brothers and sisters that, you know what, it's hard to love, but you still love them because you know what, you want to work through it, you want to fix it, and you want to have this great future. This country is not perfect, Mark Cuban. This country has been made on bad decisions often at time. Our Constitution in its imperfectness is also perfect because it gave us a structure to go from here to there. And we're on our way, Mark. So why do you think now is the time to put this obstruction back in? To throw in our way as America? Let's spin this divide even harder so we have even more of a difficult time to reconnect here in this country. Mark Cuban, you are a creator of this problem. And so, News Rocky fans, I'm asking you, please, 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 do not spend a dime of revenue on Mark Cuban until he remedies this issue. Mark Cuban, you are welcome to come on the News Rocky Show. I welcome you to come on the News Rocky Show, get in the ring, and defend your position on this. Oh, you're a smart talker, you're arrogant, you're angry guy, and you won't even if you heard this, you wouldn't acknowledge it because you live in a bubble. And your bubble that you created is about ready to get burst, Mark. I'm going to tell you right now, Texas is one of the largest growing states in this country. People are moving to Texas, not because of people like you, Mark Cuban, so they can go celebrate your hack basketball team. No, they're moving to Texas for freedom. Freedom to love their country. Freedom to love and respect the fact that there's a place in Texas where most people can go. Why are businesses going to Texas, Mark? Why do you have Elon Musk going there? You have so many different big tech companies going there. You yourself know Texas because you're a part of it. But you know what the sad part is, Mark? You don't appreciate your success. In fact, you're arrogant about it. And in fact, I think it's time for you to have a wake-up call. You know, I would really love to see you have an opportunity to be woken up. I don't want your life to be ruined because, as I said earlier, Mark Cuban, you've built an empire, and many thousands of people rely on you for their paychecks. Shame on you for putting them in jeopardy. Shame on you for not being American. And shame on you for taking this position to help divide this country. Mark Cuban, you talked about maybe running for president someday. Let me give you a little insider's information, Mark. You will never make it out of a primary. You hack, billionaire, problem maker, troublemaker, arrogant, never will be president, Mark Cuban. I promise you, you've ruined any chances for that with this move. If you think that this move is going to help you with your plight, because I heard you last year, oh yeah, maybe I could run for president, maybe I could. And you know what, Mark? Up until this decision, I kind of always looked at all your really radical moves as something as edgy and kind of on the mark. This is stupid. You're stupid. I don't care how educated you are. I don't care how successful you are. I'm just an average guy, Mark. I'm just the average guy that sits at the bar, right? I'm just the average, what did Hillary call us? I think we're deplorable? I'm a deplorable. I'm just a deplorable. I'm just a guy who loves his country, just loves the red, white, and blue of the flag, loves it when I hear the national anthem because it makes me really realize that the people who have died for this country, who you have disrespected, Mark Cuban, you have disrespected each and every one of the patriots who fought for this country. You're a disrespectful, un-American, lousy business owner. And I hope that you go bankrupt on this decision. Guys, thanks for tuning in to News Rocky today. This is a short episode. It's a quick rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please keep on giving us comments. We'll respond back to you. And please make sure you tune in each and every day, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. We're doing this live show here. We come to you from the downtown Norwich 80 Broadway studio, and this is Forward TV. And again, this is your host, Kevin. And guys, please, if anyone knows Mark Cuban, share this video with him. Please send it his way to his people. We love Mark Cuban. I'm going to put it out there again. Please come on News Rocky. We'd welcome you in the studio or on a Zoom call if you like, and we can have a conversation. And, you know, we can even tell each other to go fuck off, because that's the kind of medium we have here. Nobody can tell us what to say in this kind of medium. And Mark, I'd really, really love to have that conversation with you. Just from an average, everyday, broke guy. You know, I'm a nothing. I'm a nobody, just like the rest of America. We're just a bunch of nobodies compared to you, Mark. But please consider coming on the News Rocky Show. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. We'll get back in the ring tomorrow, 4 p.m. Take care.